In this video, I want to show you how to set your calorie and macronutrient goals within MyFitnessPal. So as you go throughout your day, you can know exactly how much of each of the macronutrients you have left. So the first step is from this home screen, we're going to click on the bottom right where it says More, and we're going to go 4 down to the section called Goals. We'll click in, and if we avoid this top section, if we go to the bottom where it says Nutrition Goals, the first option without the yellow locks there is calorie and macronutrient goals. From there, the first thing we're going to want to do is set calories. For this example, we'll say I've given you 1,950 calories a day, which breaks out in what I've given you to 50 grams of fat, 125 grams of protein, and 250 grams of carbs. If you look at the numbers listed next to carbohydrates, protein, and fat, none of those numbers are what I just mentioned, and I'll explain why that is. So when you have the basic version of MyFitnessPal, which I do, as you can see, there's a little yellow lock that's locked because I do not have the premium paid version, and I don't recommend you spend the money for it either. It's not worth it. The only real difference is when I go in to set my carbs, protein, and fat and the amount associated with them, the basic version makes you use this spinny dial, and it has to come out to 100% there on the bottom. You see as I change, that percentage changes. And so the only downside is we're never going to get exactly where we need it to be. 244 is as close as I can get to 250 by playing around with this. 122 for proteins as close as I can get to 125. And 54 for fat is as close as I can get to 50. So after you've played around with this, gotten it as close as you can, we'll lock that in. Spinning dial will update it and we'll be good. So to show you kind of in practice what this looks like, let's go to tomorrow so I have a blank day. Let's say for breakfast, I have a bagel and 2 eggs. All right, so 2 large brown grade A eggs, perfect. So I go back to More, and now I can click on this Nutrition tab, which is 2 below the goals we were in before. I'll click on that. I kind of live in this macros page, or this macros part of the nutrition section. It'll give you your running total here for how many carbs, fat, and protein you've eaten throughout the day. So what I then do is just do quick math. I know my fat's 50, so I have 39 grams left. I know my protein's 125, so I have 104 grams left, etc. I would not recommend necessarily living on this nutrients page of the nutrition section, just because it gives you the same information for your total, so you could take the quick math I just did and do the same kind of thing. However, it may confuse you because it does say what you have left on that far column, the far right column, which isn't actually true. Your protein, as I said, is 125. This says you have 101 left, which would bring it to 122 with the 21 you've eaten. So because those spinny dials can't get the numbers exactly as they are, your amount left as it gives you is not going to be accurate. So for my recommendation, I'd say look at this macros page and just do the math in your head. It'll become more second nature as you go through it. So outside of that, that's about it as it comes to